Anyone on a podcast that wears sunglasses and hats should be shot.
It's the Dame Taft Movie Show, hosted by my nephew, Screww.
Thank you, Auntie. Yes, it is the Dame Taft Movie Show. Please welcome the star of the show, filmmaker and author Harrison Smith. H-Bomb. Boom. H. Do this. Remember I talk. Yeah?
H.
Boys, oh boys, we have a guest today.
Company. Yeah, I love company.
Yo, BVG. Hey.
Evening, boys.
So H-Bomb and I delved into women's movies briefly there, and we're happy to get it behind us. And then you had to go on social media and chime in. Oh, hey, why don't you do a couple of more? You know, says, okay, well, why don't you join us then, smartass? So that's why we're here tonight, and hopefully we're going to do a couple of chick movies, and then not for a long, long time. Let's see what we've got in the queue here.
Not just chick flicks; these are mom flicks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And grandma movies.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's not spurl it. Let's watch this.
I got some good news. What's that? I'm unofficially pregnant. If you're not happy for me, I'm gonna get so mad if you're not happy.
Shirley MacLaine is Aurora Greenway, her mother.
Why should I? Why should I be happy about being a grandmother?
Jack Nicholson is former astronaut Garrett Breedlove.
Wind in the hair, lead in the pencil. I am not enjoying this.
And they are all coming to terms.
Oh, and that's the first time I stopped hugging first.
I like that. How is your life going to get better if you keep having children with that man? What miracle is going to come along to rescue you?
Nice boys. You're great with them, too.
I don't really think he wants to have anything more to do with me.
Is it because you wouldn't go to bed with him?
On a first date, Emma? Who do you think you're talking to like this? Don't you realize I'm a grandmother? This is Garrett.
Oh,
The one.
pleasure to meet you.
I'll be over later. They're probably tired anyway and will get to sleep early, and I'd like to get to bed early.
Grandma! Bye-bye.
Terms of Endearment.
All right, I mercifully cut that preview down. All right.
Wow, that was longer.
Yeah, it was like 4 minutes, man. What did I do?
Ooh.
I cut that down to just under 2 minutes there. All right, Mr. Smartass. Why did you feel compelled to bring this to the table tonight? Because you love it.
I'm just glad I didn't say beaches in that response. I have to watch that.
Oh.
This is like the mother of all.
Don't press your luck.
Those 80s mom movies, right? That your mom would watch and cry to. You know, that's all I remember it. You know, it was just, that, beaches.
Name some more.
Steel magnolias.
Okay.
Fried green tomatoes. That's the ones I can think of off the top of my head. And thank God for that cast.
Why?
Because it's the only thing that remotely saves this movie.
You like the cast. Who do you like in the cast?
Well, you had good actors in it. I can't say I cared for many of the characters. It's basically a movie about an extremely narcissistic. They're all shitty people. First off, they're all shitty. They're all shitty to each other. The mother is horrible. I'm not sure what the exact point of the movie is, but the mom's horrible to the daughter. In the very first two scenes of the movie, when she's an infant and then when she's a couple years old, is the mother intentionally waking her up from a sleep to gratify her needs of attention and whatnot. And that's how we're introduced to her. So she's just, nothing she does is nothing she does is for, she's not doing anything for her daughter throughout the movie. It's all for her. And she's just a miserable, nasty person. So she's not likable from my standpoint. So it's difficult trying to watch a movie with somebody that you don't really actively care for. And go on.
Well, but I'll tell you what the point of the movie is. It's to have a good cry.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, H-Bomb, chime in.
Well, this has got a story to it too, because
what chick did you take to this one?
I didn't. Actually, I watched
Your
it.
grandma?
I watched it in installments when I was an usher at the movie theater. And I remember, I think BVG's got it right. I remember at the end, I had to get the doors for one of these screenings of it. And this woman, a mom, obviously, who must have gone through something akin to this, was brought out of the theater by, I can't remember if it was her husband or whatever, but they were holding her as she was weeping uncontrollably at the end of this movie. And watching it in installments, first of all, I never would have believed in a million years that Deborah Winger would have an affair with John Lithgow. There was just no way. I mean, even though he rescued her in the grocery store by paying for her bill, I never bought that. And I think, again, I felt the same way, that really none of the characters, even the kids, weren't likable. Like, I believe the boy's name was Tommy, who rolls over into Evening Star and fulfills the destiny that was set up for him in this one.
Spurl it.
I'm just
Spurl it.
I know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But they're just all. I mean, the husband's a cheater. Deborah Winger isn't really all that. I mean, she's kind of stupid, you know.
Well, that's her failing, is that her character is just shit on by everybody, and throughout it. But you don't really get to deal with her like repercussions from that, or how she deals with it. She just takes it. Her mom treats her like shit. Everybody in her life treats her like shit, and she just takes it. There's that scene at the end with her husband, who's been cheating on her, who's a shitty husband, a shitty father, just shitty all around. And she says, even though that you're a piece of shit who's been cheating on me, nobody knows how you love me like I do. Like, I know that you love me. And it's just like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's not even taking the kids at the end. It's like, what kind of guy? He's just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then, and again, when I say the casting, you had good actors. Everybody was cast perfectly. Deborah Winger was great. Shirley MacLaine was just, playing the character that she was, and then you got the neighbor, the Garrett Breedlove, the astronaut character played by Jack Nicholson.
Which I never bought that he was an astronaut.
No.
If that was any other actor but Jack Nicholson, that wouldn't have worked at all, because the guy isn't even, he's just a lecherous, degenerate drunk, right? There's nothing charming about the guy. He's not written well. When I think the first or second scene you meet him, he's falling out of his car drunk. He's bloody, just mushing his hands in this woman's hair. There's nothing sexy about it. There's nothing like that. It's just embarrassing. And then he ends every scene, because same thing he's in a scene with Shirley MacLaine, and you think it's going cool, and then he just sticks his hand in her top, tries to grab her boob, and then she like smacks him, and then he does that Jack Nicholson thing where he just, that's the way the pickle slides off my pancake. And everybody's like, oh, it's Jack Nicholson, And it's like, what the fuck? It's like, there's nothing charming about the guy, but it's Jack Nicholson. Like I said, if it wasn't for who they cast, then,
Well, and most of all, like you said, the mother, MacLaine's character never gives the daughter any kind of tools to overcome being shit upon. All she does is criticize her. Well, your life is going to suck. And, this guy, I never wanted you to marry him. I don't want to be a grandmother. But oh, listen to me because now I'm dating the astronaut next door. So let me tell you all about my life. And there's just one brief moment at the end in the hospital when Deborah Winger actually musters some backbone and actually tells her mother, I don't give a shit. I'm sick, and it's like, oh, where was this girl? Where was she 90 minutes ago?
Yeah, that's my thing. They never dealt with that aspect in the movie. It's like, what's the point? The character has no arc. It's she shit upon her entire life and then she dies.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was no realization like, hey, mom, you're the reason I have like, low self-esteem because you always told me I wasn't good enough. Again, keeping her down to keep her in mom's control.
See,
That's the whole point.
This is one of those movies, and there are a lot of these, Beaches being one of them, of course, but even other ones, but even some horror. But this is this kind of movie that has its own self-defense mechanism, and that is emotion. And if you dare to start thinking about it and start applying logic to it, you're an asshole. You're supposed to run with this, and it's supposed to be emotional, and you're supposed to cry at the end. And if you don't, you're an asshole. And if you start pointing out this kind of analysis of the film, you're a hater. See, as we get more and more weak-minded as a society and also as a film-going society, we no longer apply critical thinking to these things and look at this script for really what it is. And instead, really, it's actually a pretty, I don't want to use the word misogynistic, but it is a very abusive movie toward Deborah Winger's character. And when you point that out, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
I agree with what you said there that, you're not supposed to be in the frame of mind to be dissecting it and applying logic to it. You are supposed to get swept up in the emotion. That's why we go to the movies. I mean, as a critic later on, you can do all that stuff. But if you start doing that while you're watching the movie, it's usually an indicator that there's something wrong with the movie. It's very well accomplished. I'll give him that. James Brooks' directorial debut after what did he work on? Mary Tyler Moore Show and Taxi.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty good debut for him.
I didn't
Go
know
ahead.
I didn't know it was his debut. I looked up his credits and I was like, holy shit, that's his first movie. I don't know how he landed all those people.
Well, it's very TV. It's very episodic and very TV formatted. I mean, you're just watching a big budget TV episode.
Yeah, he had his hours, working on productions and stuff. So it's not like some amateur jump behind the camera there. So it's very assured. I'll give him that. The production is very assured. You got him. He's one of the contributors to the script, and it's based on a novel by Larry McMurtry. So it's dudes making a movie about chicks.
That shocked me. I had no idea Larry McMurtry wrote that. And if anybody doesn't know, Larry McMurtry wrote Lonesome Dove and that whole series, which I've read all of his Lonesome Dove books.
Last Picture Show, I think he wrote that, right?
So I was a little bit shocked that he wrote this, and he definitely didn't. Again, the perspective of a mom and daughter, he didn't really pull it off. I mean, I've known relationships like that. He
didn't pull it off. I bet the women would disagree, though. I mean, probably most broads are going to be into this movie. They can identify.
It's like Titanic. If you start pointing out the physics that at the end Rose could have actually pulled this guy up onto the wood and saved him, well, you're an asshole, right? This is supposed to be a tragic star-crossed lovers kind of movie. And when you start looking at the script and you break it down and you go, why did we spend the last 40 minutes of this movie trying to save Jack? What was the point of all this, to see him slip into the water at the end? It's kind of like, but when you start applying that logic, oh, you're just a hater, you ruin everything. It's like, I don't know who's ruining what here. I'm just, pointing out certain things.
What he didn't accomplish in the movie was, between the mom and daughter, was there wasn't enough tension. There's a love-hate, right? It's a, what do you call it, a codependent relationship that they have. So while she can hate her mom, be angry at her mom, can't stand her mom, want to get away from her, she loves and needs her mom. It's that codependent relationship. And I didn't really get a sense of the anger side. She had some where she said some things, or whatever. She wanted to get away from her, but second, she wanted to be on the phone with her mom all the time.
Yeah, I found it authentic in this, and in its portrayal of a family and how imperfect all those relationships are, and how you've got the underlying love and then the emotional hurt and all that stuff. That's all very familiar and very common, and they make it kind of rocky and not too perfect as it would be. So I bought all that, but it doesn't necessarily mean it translates to entertainment. It's still kind of icky in some places. Yeah, I hadn't seen this movie until BVG shot his mouth off a couple of weeks ago and said he wanted to bring it to the show. I'm glad I watched it. They you know how they'll shoot two different versions of a movie, like when they made Dracula and then they brought in the Mexican crew to make the Mexican version. They should have done two versions of this, one in which Nicholson was the primary focal point, and they could have shown that to dudes, because dudes love Nicholson, especially in a saucy role like this, and the daughter should have been in the background. If they'd have reversed their focus, that would have been appealing, because for me it was always like, well, I like Nicholson, but he's only in part of the movie. Do I really want to endure everything else? So that's why I put off seeing it for so long. Two Batman villains.
Yeah, which is also that whole thing. So, not to segue into something else, but the thing about with Shirley MacLaine's character, with all these guys fawning over her.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to believe that this ice cold woman, right? This mean, nasty, she has no likable qualities about her. She's a mean, nasty, cold, vicious person that these guys, for well over a decade, are just, because remember, time's passing. So we're in a scene 10 years later, and all these guys are still fawning over her at dinner. She doesn't put out. Why are you still there after 10 years? For what? She's not dating anybody, right? But they're all just kissing over her at the dinner table. It's like, that was comically weird.
Maybe it's a Texas thing.
I guess. I don't know. I thought that was weird.
6 Oscar nominations, 5 wins, at Best Picture, Actor, Actress. Well, I think it got script also and everything. So it was the Best Picture for 1983. Yeah, what's the deal with Shirley MacLaine? I never could wrap my mind around her. I even had to go on Wikipedia. It's like, what's her story? Because she was never particular. She's not homely per se, but she's not attractive.
That haircut doesn't help.
Oh yeah, what? Well, the little short one she used to wear, and here at least she's got kind of long hair for a change. But yeah, when she would pop up in the apartment, and she's a good actress. I'm not taking anything away from her. When those Mexicans were stealing her habit when she was dressed up like a nun and 2 mules for Sister Sarah, she got kind of like a boyish body.
Yeah.
So I never really got attracted to her, but yeah, apparently she made her bones on Broadway as a dancer and got signed to a contract by.
Isn't she Warren Beatty's
sister?
Yeah.
Looks nothing like him. I can never figure that out too. She took her mother's name, a variation of her mother's name. Yeah, I'm not saying she's a bad actress. And kudos to her on her career. It's been an impressive career for decades. I just can't wrap my mind around her. I don't get excited for her, and I'm not poo-pooing her at the same time. What do you think of Shirley MacLaine, H-Bomb?
I would agree with you. I never really quite saw it. I mean, gets credit, like you said, she's endured. Although in the latter part of her career, she's kind of playing the same thing over and over again. But she took chances early on, and yeah, I wouldn't say that she would be up there for me as my type, or I would say as attractive. But like you said, she's not homely either. Just I don't know. She's fine, but like the character is really the problem with this film.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of good movies, so if I want to see a good movie and she's in it, I'm not gonna complain. The Trouble with Harry.
Yeah.
The Apartment I mentioned. Gambit as a fun heist movie with Michael Caine. Gambit.
Yep.
And Herbert Lom. Being There. Well, what's your favorite Shirley MacLaine movie, BVG?
Being There and 2 Mules for Sister Sarah.
Yeah. They're good. Those are good movies. Big hit, $8 million budget, worldwide gross of $108 million. Not too bad.
Not too shabby.
It's understandable why they made a sequel albeit 13 years later.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that sequel. Yeah, that covers. Oh, yeah. I don't care for that tinkling piano score. That really bugs me. And they reprise it in the sequel too. It scores by a guy named Michael Gore.
Of course, they reprised it.
All right, let's watch the sequel here. Yeah, I cut this mercifully, made it shorter. This is the Evening Star.
I always think of us as fighting. That's because you're never satisfied with me.
In 1983, America embraced a special motion picture about life and loss. This Christmas, Paramount Pictures proudly presents
Duck Madagascar. I've eaten.
a new chapter in the story of a family
I should just be grateful you went to class for a change. I'm gonna quit.
coming to terms.
Boy, if your mother had lived, she would be so horrified at the way you turned out.
If my mother had lived, I wouldn't have turned out this way.
A story about the people in our lives, the ones who live with us forever.
Ever since their mother died, I have done nothing but be there to help them. I need to be selfish.
Yes.
Selfish in the good sense.
This is a date.
Maybe it's not a date in the sense
Paxton,
that we're on
yeah!
sleeping together.
Why is that such a preposterous idea? Let's discuss that.
Bill Paxton
It's already
There's
here.
something very wrong with you.
in the roles that won them Academy Awards. Shirley MacLaine and Jack Nicholson.
I'm looking for the love of my life.
Not that many more shopping days till Christmas.
Shut up. Ooh. Turn that music down. Oof. Bugs me. All right,
From
there
the
they go.
best-selling novel,
Hey, remember this one from the first
The
movie?
Evening
Yeah.
Star.
Let's remind you about how much better the other one was.
I hate everything that there is to hate about this movie. I hate that it exists. I hate everybody's haircut in it. I just have nothing good to say about this movie at all.
How many times did you cry?
I cried having to sit through it. Just the trailer alone. I watched the trailer first, and it's the
Yeah.
epitome of of '90s trailers. It's got '90s trailer guy's voice, that prestige. Proudly presents.
Yeah.
Everything. It was just sick. It was sickening. It was really, yeah. Horrible.
But hey, at least there's this. I mean, Terms of Endearment was 2 hours and 12 minutes, and 2 hours 12 minutes. This was mercifully short at 2 hours and 9 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I swear to God, we just watched it. I think was it last night or the night before. It seems like too long ago, and I kept stopping and pausing for whatever to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh my God, we still got like an hour and a half left to go.
Yeah, you see that
It's
meter.
about an hour.
You see
Yeah.
that meter and you go, oh.
Well, that's no way to enjoy a movie there. That doesn't count. You got to go watch it again, uninterrupted. Shut off your phone, dim the lights, light some candles. H-Bomb, The Evening Star. How many times did you cry?
None. And in fact, by the time I saw this sequel, which was on video, I don't even remember it playing anywhere near me at the time, or even remembering. I don't even remember the trailer, but I watched it for the sake of it being the sequel to Terms of Endearment, and all I could think of was, as a cynical person, the first one was, got all the awards, fine, but let's see, the strategy for this one is how many people can die in this movie. They should have called it, and then there was one.
3? I counted
Also-
3.
Also, tonally, I'm like, what is this movie trying to be?
No,
There
4.
there were scenes where it was like wacky comedy, like they're in the like somebody's in the hospital.
Did you laugh? You laughed?
and then-
Yeah, you laughed a lot?
And then all of a sudden there's like 12 people like all lined up, like they just appeared as like a comedy skit. And they did that several times in the movie, and it just, like I said, tonally, I didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Yeah.
So somebody called in a favor and got Nicholson to pop in at the end there. Make us wait till the end. But at least Paxton's in there. He livened it up for me. It's like, yeah, how I miss him. Taken too soon.
He
Bill
was
Paxton.
definitely taken too soon.
I love Paxton, but this
Yeah.
was shameful blight on his career to appear in this movie and in the role he did.
No. You got to hand it to him because he was getting a lot of the same roles over and over. I think this was smart for him to take this and be in a chick movie with an esteemed cast. So
Yeah,
it's
again,
why he did
it's
it.
quality.
Why he did it, of course.
Yeah.
It's goofy. It's not. I mean, he makes it funny. I laughed because it was him, but I think it was a good role for him. If anyone ever saw the movie, I remember when it came out. I, of course, did not see it, but I do remember that the reviews were not kind, and that's all I remembered of it until our pal BVG brought it up a couple of weeks ago. Here, thanks a lot for that.
I forgot
okay.
it even existed.
Yeah, how many people croaked in it? 4, I guess, right?
I think it's like 4. It was
Ben
Marion
Johnson
Ross.
off screen.
Yep.
Yeah, Marion Ross, who we just covered in the Forbin Project a couple weeks ago. She was one of the scientists. Mrs. C from Happy Days, Marion Ross.
I've run into her a few times.
Yeah, I respect her. I mean, what she
doesn't?
did in this film didn't do a whole lot for me, but she'd been around. Yeah, Ben Johnson, Crows. Donald Moffat.
I love Ben Johnson.
Donald Moffat.
Donald Moffat from The Thing. I knew you'd say that, Gary. You were the only one who could have got to that blood. We'll do you last.
Just get me tied to this fucking couch.
I'm not spend the rest of this winter tied to this fucking couch.
Yep.
Yeah, he drops dead while sitting up. And then what's her nose? Spurler alert croaks at the end there. Shirley MacLaine. Scotty Wolf was funny, small role. He's a funny kid. Playing Juliette Lewis's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Juliette,
the obligatory underwear shot. Yes.
Yeah, he had the funny mullet there at the beginning. That was cute. Juliette Lewis and her friggin' Frankenstein head just getting on my nerves, man. I am done with her. What do you think, BBG? Did you love her in this movie?
Not so much. We actually, well, it was probably not too long into this. We lived in the same neighborhood. I'd run into her at the local Ralph's.
Okay.
All the time.
Well, I hear she's cool and everything, so maybe I'm being a little harsh.
She's actually a great singer. She likes to play in like metal bands and stuff like that. But,
right.
You know, she's had some stuff that she was good in. I liked her in From Dusk Till Dawn or
right. Well, of course, Cape Fear. She got an Oscar nomination for that. That was a genuinely good performance.
What's the crime story? What's the crime one she did?
Natural Born Killers.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Oh, and of course, California with a K.
Yeah.
H-Bomb, why is your favorite movie the Good Sister? What was the one where she played the retard? Wasn't that a Gary Marshall movie? The Other Sister?
With Rosie O'Donnell?
No.
When did I? Oh, God.
It was her and Giovanni Ribisi were romantically involved retards. They always played at clips as drops on shows because they're funny. I think Diane Keaton was in it. I'm pretty sure it was a Gary Marshall movie.
Wouldn't surprise me.
It might be fun to bring it to the show as a lark, but I don't think I can take it, man. I'm worn out. Yeah, Ben Johnson, who was also in The Last Picture Show and also died off screen in that one too. And this is also another Larry McMurtry book, a separate book, not just
Yeah, well, he died the same year that this movie came out.
It's dedicated to him at the end. Yeah, Ben Johnson, his last movie.
Yeah, my dad actually, and I forgot to ask my dad about this before we did this show, but so it couldn't have been too much sooner before that. But my dad actually, sat in Ben Johnson's kitchen, had a cup of coffee with him, and just shot the shit with him for a while. So it wasn't too long before he died. It was in the 90s sometime.
Yeah, tons of stories that guy. He was an old rodeo rider before he got into westerns.
Yeah.
The real deal. So many great movies. I love Ben Johnson. Here's a couple of funny lines I wrote down here to make you laugh. A couple lines from the movie. Let's see. Juliette Lewis says to Shirley MacLaine, she says, "You spray this house with happiness repellent." And we laughed. That's sitcom stuff right there. You put a laugh track on the end of that because it's not funny and then people think it's funny. That's I got another one here. Shirley MacLaine says, "You have become my bridge over shark-infested waters." Oh, it's so funny.
She's sassy.
Yeah. H-Bomb. I forgot to mention a line out of that Yaya Sisterhood movie we watched. What was it, last week?
Yeah.
There was another funny line in that movie. I think, what's her name with the thick neck? The girl from the bus. She says, oh, yeah, I've been hitting this. Oh, maybe it was Ashley Judd. I've been hitting the snooze button on my biological clock. You're not laughing, BVG. What can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah. Did you, let me bring up from the, oh, did I lose you?
There you go. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you back now?
Yeah, I hear you.
So, did anybody catch this line from the first movie, from Terms of Endearment?
Go ahead.
It's the very last line of the movie. Jack Nicholson talking to Tommy.
Yeah, at the pool, right?
Well, he goes, yeah. It's a little awkward because he goes, "You want to see my pool?" And the kid's like, "I don't think this is the right time for that. You know, it's a funeral and all." It was just kind of weird. Like,
no, that was good though, because kids don't know how to grieve at that age. You can't expect them to be clutching their handkerchief. You got to distract them. You got to break out the Hot Wheels and the tracks. Take them over to Chuck E. Cheese, or in this case, a pool. So I went along with that.
But the kid's response was awkward. I don't really think this is the right time for that.
He's trying to behave like an adult. He doesn't know how to act. They don't know. Kids are stupid.
Well, thankfully, he pulled himself together in the second one.
H-Bomb, further thoughts on Evening Star? And
totally forgettable.
Yeah, that's why I wrote notes, because I've already forgotten it. I don't see me watching it again anytime soon.
It came and went, and I don't think anybody, even probably big fans of the first one, probably don't even know it came out or that it existed.
I tell you when I laughed is when Paxton's mother appeared and she kind of resembled Shirley MacLaine. I actually laughed at that. So, full disclosure, I laughed at that. What else here? Okay, yeah. So the director is a guy named Robert Harling. So they didn't get James Brooks back. There's a whole different crew here, and he's credited with as one of the writers on Steel Magnolias and First Wives Club. So this guy's all about these chick movies that we mostly ignore.
He had those bona fides, yes.
I saw another chick movie yesterday that came out many years ago, and I thought I'd share it real quick and see what I thought it was okay. And again, I cut down the preview mercifully.
There isn't any room at the top for local girls like us.
I'm not giving up.
Where dreams are won and lost.
Spray me down?
Sorry?
Well, I can't very well walk around my own party clinging.
Yeah, get up in there.
Someone's about to get what she deserves.
I know I'm asking an awful lot, Tess, but I don't know what else to do. I need you to take over.
Do me a favor, be me. Be my secretary.
How you look.
I have a head for business and a bod for sin. Is there anything wrong with that?
Yeah, she wants it. Yeah. She wants it. Yeah.
20th Century Fox presents Harrison Ford.
Last night was special.
It wasn't so special. I had to carry you up 3 flights of stairs.
Sigourney Weaver.
This woman is my secretary.
She's not.
Oh, no? Ask her.
Melanie Griffith.
How about you?
In a new film directed by Mike Nichols.
I'm telling you, she's your man.
Working Girl.
All right. You kids seen this movie from 1988 directed by Mike Nichols, Working Girl?
I think I saw it back in 1988.
Same here.
What do you think, H-Bomb?
It made really no impression on me whatsoever.
It was a big hit.
Yeah, I know. We had it at the theater where I was working.
I think it got some Oscar nominations too. BVG?
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw it because my mom had rented it. That's probably how I saw it. All I remember was Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. This movie has not one, but 2 Jack Ryans.
Yes. I get it.
Yeah, he's in. That was like 88. That was the year of Alec Baldwin. He was in like 6 movies: Married to the Mob, Talk Radio,
Beetlejuice,
Great Balls of Fire, Beetlejuice. What a run that kid had, huh?
Well,
and
his
they were,
his scene was hilarious too, because he basically comes in on him. He's like having sex with somebody, right?
yeah, real hot chick too, a hot
Yeah,
brunette.
she's like literally riding him, and he's like,
Yeah,
"That's not
yeah.
what it looks. It's not what it looks like."
Oh, he was so good. I miss old young Alec Baldwin. Um, well, the reason why I brought up this movie, kids, is because I found it preferable to Pretty Woman. We were talking about a couple weeks ago. Pretty Woman. BVG, your quick impression of the 1990 Gary Marshall movie, Pretty Woman.
Your guys' take on it was pretty spot on. I mean, it's
You didn't think it was funny?
No, not really. I mean, Hector Elizondo was the best thing about it. They had no chemistry, and you're elevating a whore, and you're teaching girls that
Yeah.
It's a love story between a rich guy
Oh
and a
no,
whore.
no, it's a Cinderella story.
It's a Cinderella story, BVG. Get it right.
Yeah.
This movie, I can't say I laughed out loud, but I found it entertaining and breezy. I found it breezy and very accomplished. Mike Nichols, I mean, the guy made Catch-22, which is an excellent movie. And when we were doing Pretty Woman, H-Bomb, I was talking about how Arthur, just watch Arthur instead of that one. This is another alternative to that movie. It's superior to it. So if you got to see, it's a fairy tale movie again. You know, this secretary, she's climbing her way to the top there. She got to break through the glass ceiling there. It's a man's world, a man-dominated world. Okay. Kevin Spacey pops up there as a dude doing coke in a limo. That was fun. Short scene there. David Duchovny is in a party scene. I missed him, though. I missed him. Duchovny's always fun. All right. So this was written by a guy named Kevin Wade, credited with as one of the writers on Junior. Remember Junior?
Oh, yes.
Just the poster makes my gums ache.
Yes.
That's the Schwarzenegger movie where he has a baby.
That's the twins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get those.
Another shitty Ivan Reitman movie.
Didn't quite work out as well as the first one.
You didn't like it? You didn't like Junior, starring Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Didn't have the same magic.
No, it didn't. It didn't work. I think I saw it once, and I don't remember it. And he also, this guy Kevin Wade also co-wrote Meet Joe Black.
Mm.
All right. What's her name? The lady from the Ape movie. She was good. Gorillas in the Mist lady.
Sigourney.
Yeah. She's good. H-Bomb thinks that Harrison Ford is dreamy because they're both named Harrison, right? You like him.
Yeah.
That's why you want to see this movie. You enjoyed this movie.
His old crotchety persona really works on me.
Yeah. Melanie Griffith in her little chirpy voice says, "I love you," and he says, "I know."
Yeah.
No, that didn't really happen. And credit where it's due. I'm a fan of Melanie Griffith. All right, and we get to see her breast in this movie. You know, unlike Pretty Woman lady. And we got to see her clam in Night Moves back in 1975. So I respect this actress.
But did anybody want to see her boobs?
They look pretty good in here. They're kind of in a wide shot there. But, you know, did either of you guys ever read that excellent book, The Devil's Candy, about the making of the Bonfire of the Vanities movie?
No.
It's a really fun, funny book about that unfortunate production there. Apparently, Melanie Griffith, you know, she had a couple of kids by this point. She got her breast augmentation during the production of that movie, The Bonfire of the Vanities. But they looked okay in Something Wild, and they look okay here. So yeah, I'm a fan. He's Tippi Hedren's daughter.
Yeah,
I like that very much.
Or we could watch a shark movie. With that. Oh, it is fun.
Watch Harrison Smith's movie Slow Burn free on Rad TV.
What's our sign off, H-Bomb?
Farewell and adieu, you fair Spanish ladies.
End of story.
It's the Dame Taft Movie Show, hosted by my nephew, Screww.
I got a suggestion for you. Since you just did and that doesn't have to be me, but another show, because you just did a movie classic and a sequel. Fish Called Wanda and Fierce Creatures.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, talk on it now. Give me your rundown. Go ahead. Give me it.
My run? Oh, I'm just saying, comparing a classic movie, which was, well regarded,
Right.
and then they brought everybody back because you were mentioning another. I forget what movie you just mentioned that they brought everybody back, and it just didn't work. So they brought everybody back for Fierce Creatures, and it just didn't work at all.
H-Bomb, did you see Fierce Creatures? I didn't see it.
I did not see Fierce Creatures. I saw A Fish Called Wanda, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and saw it in the theater and was really disappointed.
Yeah. Because that first film got an Oscar win and a nomination there. It was a big hit. So, yeah, naturally a sequel. I think the original director was very old by that time, so they got a co-director in there. Well, then I won't rush out and see it, and I certainly won't bring it to the show. Fish Called Wanda was funny. I don't like Jamie Curtis, though. I don't care that she's got a pair of tits. She's got a stupid face.
They're much nicer than Melanie Griffiths.
I'll take the whole package, though, Melanie Griffith. I jump all over that. I find her appealing. No, you can have Jamie Curtis. I like Jamie Curtis's mother, Janet Leigh. She's hot, man. I wish she was making movies back when they were showing Skin, but sadly it wasn't to be. All right, gentlemen, I've kept you long enough.
Okay.
Get the fuck off my screen.